You know that feeling when you're scrolling through your banking app at 11 p.m. and you realize you have no idea where half your money went that month? And then you close the app real quick because looking at it makes you feel sick. Yeah, I see you doing that. Here's what I've noticed about women in their 20s. You're crushing it everywhere else. You're building careers, you're managing relationships, you're learning new skills constantly. But with money, there's this weird gap. You earn it, you spend it, and somewhere in between, it just disappears. And the worst part? You feel like you should know better. Like everyone else figured this out and you're the only one who didn't get the memo. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Your 20s aren't just about making money. They're about making decisions. 5 specific decisions, actually. And the women who make those 5 decisions before 30? They're not smarter than you. They're not luckier. They just started earlier. They understood something that most people don't realize until it's too late. Every single choice you make with money right now is literally building the foundation for the next 30 years of your life. Not metaphorically, literally. So if you're feeling lost with your finances, if you're making decent money but still stressed, or if you're just starting to realize that maybe you should have a plan, this conversation is for you because I'm about to walk you through the 5 decisions that actually matter, the ones that change everything. Hey, sis. Amaya. Your new big sis. I'm here to help you build real wealth and live the life you actually love. No legal jargon, no judgment. If you're ready to stop winging it with your money, hit subscribe and let's do this together. Penny and I are so happy you're here. Okay, so let's talk about what these 5 decisions actually are. And I want you to understand something right from the start. These aren't complicated financial instruments or investment strategies that require a degree in economics. These are decisions about how you think about money, how you relate to it, how you let it shape your life, or how you shape your life with it. The first decision is this. You have to decide that your money is worth paying attention to. I know that sounds obvious, but stay with me. Most women in their 20s treat their finances like they treat their car's engine. They don't think about it until something breaks. They earn a paycheck, they spend money on things they need and things they want, and they assume it will all work out somehow. And then at 30 or 35 or 40, they wake up and realize they have no savings, no investments, and no plan. But here's what happens when you decide your money matters. You start noticing things. You start seeing patterns. You realize that you're spending $100 a month on subscriptions you forgot you had. You notice that you're buying coffee every single day when you could make it at home. These aren't big revelations. They're not going to change your life overnight, but they're the beginning of awareness. And awareness is where everything starts. The second decision is about your relationship with delayed gratification. This one is harder because we live in a culture that's designed to make you want things right now. You see something on Instagram, you can have it delivered tomorrow. You want to go on a trip? You can book it instantly. You want to eat out? There's an app for that. Everything is designed for immediate satisfaction. And I'm not saying you should never spend money on things that make you happy. That's not what this is about. But here's what I've learned. The women who build real wealth in their 20s are the ones who can say no to something good today so they can say yes to something better tomorrow. And that's a skill. It's not something you're born with. It's something you practice. Think about it this way. When you're 22 and you decide to invest $200 a month instead of spending it on clothes or nights out, that doesn't feel like a big deal. $200. But that $200 invested consistently over 8 years until you're 30, with average market returns, becomes something like $25,000. That's not because you're a genius investor. That's because time and compound interest did the work for you. But most people don't experience that because they never make the decision to delay gratification long enough to see the results. The third decision is about understanding the difference between needs and wants. And this is where it gets real because our brains are really good at convincing us that wants are actually needs. You need a new phone because your old one is slow. You need those shoes because you don't have anything to wear. You need to go out to eat because you're too tired to cook, and sometimes those things are true. But most of the time, they're not. They're wants dressed up as needs. I'm not telling you to never buy anything you want. I'm telling you to be honest about what you're doing. Because when you're honest about it, you get to make a real choice. You get to say, yes, I want this and I'm willing to spend my money on it. Or you get to say, actually, I want my future more than I want this right now. That's the difference. That's the decision. The fourth decision is about building an emergency fund. This is the one that saves your life when everything goes wrong, and everything goes wrong eventually. Your car breaks down. You lose your job. You get sick. Something happens that costs money that you didn't plan for. And if you don't have an emergency fund, you end up going into debt. You end up using credit cards. You end up stressed and scared and making bad decisions from a place of panic. But if you have even $1,000 set aside for emergencies, everything changes. You can handle a crisis without it destroying your financial future. Most financial experts recommend having 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. That sounds like a lot when you're 22, but it's not about getting there overnight. It's about starting. It's about deciding that you're going to build this safety net 1 month at a time. And here's what's wild. Once you have that emergency fund, you feel different. You feel more powerful. You feel like you can take risks because you know you have a cushion. You can leave a job that's making you miserable. You can take a chance on something you believe in. You can handle life. The fifth decision is about investing in your future self. And I don't just mean money. I mean time. I mean education. I mean learning skills that are going to make you more valuable in your career. I mean taking care of your health so you're not spending money on medical problems later. I mean building relationships and communities so you have support when you need it. But yes, I also mean money. Because investing money in your 20s is the most powerful thing you can do. When you're 25 and you invest $1,000 in a retirement account, that money has 35 years to grow before you need it. That same $1,000 with average market returns could become $15,000 by the time you're 60. But if you wait until you're 35 to invest that same $1,000, it only has 30 years to grow. It becomes about $12,000. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between being comfortable in retirement and being stressed about money for the rest of your life. But here's what I really want you to understand about all 5 of these decisions. They're not about being perfect with money. They're not about never spending money on things you enjoy. They're about being intentional. They're about understanding that every single choice you make with money is a vote for the future you want to live. When you're 22, it's easy to think that money doesn't matter yet, that you have time to figure it out, that you can start saving when you're 30. But that's not how it works. The time to start is now. Not because you're behind, but because you're ahead. You have time on your side. You have the most powerful tool in wealth building, which is time, and the only way to waste it is to not use it. So these 5 decisions, they're not complicated. They're not difficult, but they do require you to think differently about money than you probably have been thinking about it. They require you to see your future self as someone who matters, someone whose life you're building right now with every single choice you make. It's no use just listening to me. Your task for today is this. I want you to pick one of these 5 decisions, just one, the one that resonates with you the most, the one that feels most urgent or most important, and I want you to take one small action on it this week. If it's decision number 1, maybe you spend 30 minutes looking at your bank statements and your spending. If it's decision number 2, maybe you skip one thing you normally buy and put that money aside. If it's decision number 3, maybe you write down your needs and your wants for the week and see where the difference is. If it's decision number 4, maybe you open a savings account if you don't have one. If it's decision number 5, maybe you research one investment option or one skill you want to learn. Do it and tell me what happened in the comments so I can celebrate with you. Before you go, if this felt like the chat you needed today, subscribe so we can keep hanging out. And if you have a friend who needs a financial big sis too, share this with her. Let's help all our girls level up. You got this. Take care of your money, sis. I'll see you soon.